Did you say
unnerving at the same time? The thing is, half of us singing that song is not going to be in the actual podcast.
Okay, that's fine.
So the running joke is not quite as
That's
funny.
fine.
And nobody's going to understand the context.
I don't care. We do this for us. Then the fans.
Yeah, keep that in.
Welcome everybody back to the room upstairs. My name is Bird and I'm here with my hosts like usual. We'll start at the end over here.
The TallBeing over here.
Hayden.
And
Mephisjoe.
Tennessee Joe.
Welcome guys to the room upstairs. This is the podcast where we battle out movies, the remakes and the originals. And also we have our ongoing composer tournament right now, which we're going to battle out Bernard Herrmann and Jerry Goldsmith.
The golden boy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And we are going to battle a movie today. We're going to battle the Addams Family, the 1991
Yep.
versus the 2019 animated version.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a good battle. I think.
We'll see.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
There's
It'll
some
be a battle.
There's some bits in there.
Yeah. So join us on our socials if you haven't already. The Room Upstairs Podcast. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We are on YouTube, and we're on Threads. Talk with us. We'd like to hear all your guys' thoughts on the battles that we have and anything that you want to talk about, all the fandom stuff. Let us know because we want to talk about it with you
I
guys
definitely
too.
want to talk to people. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
like
lonely.
I do get. There's days where I'm like, please
I'm
message
so
back.
lonely. Yeah. So lonely.
Oh, Team America?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Let's do our Conan update.
Yes.
All right. There's no movie yet. Nothing confirmed.
Nope.
Nothing talked about.
Mm-mm.
I
I got nothing.
I
got nothing.
don't have anything either. So,
I tried fishing
yeah.
for some nothing.
Couldn't find anything.
Nothing.
No movie yet.
Just
but
old stuff.
go play Mortal Kombat with.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger
Conan
still
is-
has
Go
not
watch him.
responded
Go
to my
train
emails.
out in your yard. With the sword.
Hit those hashtags.
Yeah.
Make it trend, and maybe we can finally get that movie made.
Yeah, and if you know Arnold Schwarzenegger, tell him.
Nah, he's
Stop
not
doing
responded to any of my
politics.
emails. So
You've got at least 4 people that would like to
Please.
see something happen.
Yeah.
So,
I've emailed arnold.schwarzenegger@gmail.com several times.
Nothing? Oh, well.
Yeah.
Maybe if all of us do
Just
it,
ask him, like,
we'll get a
how's
response.
California going?
Speaking of California,
Okay.
I just came from there.
Yeah.
I had
Glad to have you back.
a little 3-day trip.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch Addams Family there. Okay, so this was fun,
Okay.
right? So I go over there. It's probably like 9:00. I'm sitting in the house by myself, and this is with my family,
Okay.
right? But nobody's home at the time.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'll just pop on the movie right now.
Yeah.
Start watching it. So I'm sitting on the couch, just laid out with my legs up and everything, just watching this animated Addams Family movie. And my nephew comes in, who my nephew is like this rock kid, right? Like got the long hair and he plays in a band, and he comes in and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't usually just watch cartoon movies
You felt
by
shame?
myself.
You felt shame, dude? Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's sad, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
That's our new category.
was-
Would you be ashamed getting caught watching
there
this?
you go. That's a good one. He was very forgiving though. So he's like, hey, I'm not judging.
Yeah. He's very
No.
cool about that.
No, if someone says I'm not judging, they definitely judge it.
So far, the only movie I'd feel shame about that we've watched is the live action Aladdin.
I guarantee
Wow.
he left the room and he was like, "Dear diary."
Well, I told him it was for homework. It's for the podcast. Got to do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? All right. So, any of you guys have anything going on?
I watched a couple movies.
What'd you
Okay.
watch?
I watched Baby Driver, which was excellent.
Baby.
Yes.
Baby Driver.
Okay.
Everything about that movie.
That Elgort
soundtrack,
fella, yeah.
cast.
Well, and the music is synchronized with the movie so well, and
Oh,
it made me want to go back and watch Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. And then I watched The Batman, and I was like, man, movies are really good right now, right?
Well,
And then I watched. Listen, so then I watched the 1991 Addams Family, and I was like, this is great. And then I watched the newer Addams Family, and I was like, life is terrible.
Well, hold on, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
He's jumping the gun, Joe.
He is. Okay.
I
That's
think
good.
that's, I think that's all I watched.
I'm
yeah.
glad you liked the Batman though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
time you watch.
I was like, I guess it's been about enough time, and old TallBeing over there is always talking about how that's his Batman.
Dude, it's mine too.
Yeah, and after watching, I was like, okay, yeah, this is probably my favorite Batman. Keep in mind that you know, as with any version of something, like they were going for something different with this Batman than they were with the other Batmans.
Yeah.
And we could spend hours and hours talking about this. They all have their place, but I really appreciated what they were doing because I like the fact that this Batman is not like God Batman, right? I hate God Batman. We're like, this is where we've talked about before. We're like, there are those people who are like fanboys so hard. They're like, he could beat anybody. All he needs is prep time.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, he can't.
He gets
No,
beat up
all the
multiple
prep time,
times.
like go and read Hush. Like, and go and read Dark Knight Returns. Like, all the prep time in the world will not stop Superman from laser beaming his brains out of his head
Honestly,
from orbit.
my least favorite thing is Batman nerds.
Yeah,
I'm fine with anyone liking Batman.
they're almost as bad as like the Wolverine nerds, right? Who are like, Wolverine's the bad. You're like, Wolverine's a role player, right?
Yeah.
Wolverine in his solo titles are fine, but where Wolverine shines is when he's part of an ensemble in the X-Men.
Yeah.
Right. So
Like he's a
shut
cool
up.
character, but like. You know, Wolverine, he's not a good range fighter. He's not a good, he has his flaws. Like, you have to admit to those
Let's
things.
watch him go one-on-one with Magneto.
So then Batman, they're always like, the second they start losing, he's like, well, he had a suit once for what? Is it in his pocket? Like, does he always have
Does
that
he just
suit?
have the suit?
Like, it's so annoying. Man.
It is annoying.
But the movie's great. The
movie
new-
was good,
The,
yeah.
the new movie's great.
Yeah, I did not give that Pattinson enough credit. He did a good job.
Yeah, man.
Right.
But it was a 3-hour long movie.
It was. I didn't realize that's how long it was. I was like, man, this movie just like I feel like it should be over already. Like
No.
so many things have happened
I
already.
liked it, dude.
Yeah.
I watched it
It does-
twice in the same week. Like, I watched it, and then, like, days later, it's
Mhm.
like, hey, let's go watch it.
Yeah, one time
It
I
does
watched
have
the
a weird, like, 2 climaxes.
Yeah,
It's
it
like, why
does.
does it do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but
Oh, I'm fine with it.
oh yeah, it's still cool.
one time I watched the Fellowship of the Ring twice in the same day.
Oh,
was
yeah.
brutal.
I know
No
the
way.
story.
It was
Oh.
brutal.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in theaters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
I didn't like it.
that's the Batman podcast. Let's get back to ours.
Hey, man.
But hey, I suggest I'm here to recommend the Batman. I'm here to recommend Baby Driver's so good.
Oh, yeah.
It went in a direction I did not expect, right, based on the previews and stuff I saw, and even based on the beginning. I was like, oh, okay, I can see what's going to happen. And then I was like, that is not what happened.
Yeah, it's dope.
It is dope. I don't want to spoil it because I have been talking it up to TallBeing over here.
Yeah, Baby Driver's a
You haven't
rated
watched
movie,
it?
isn't it?
Yes,
Dude,
it's got
you're
lots
gonna
of
love it. You're gonna
lots
love
of blood
It
and
seemed very-
shooting, and
Yeah.
there's some language.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend it for
It's
family.
more rated R for violence.
For violence, for sure.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't
and the main plot, like they're doing crimes, you know. So,
Right.
you know, I'm not trying to glorify crime, but it's,
That's
Only
yeah,
the
'cause
cool
Don't
ones.
do
you have,
crime,
you have
kids.
Batman to
Yeah.
counteract Baby Driver.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
You
like-
had to. He's like, I'm not promoting crime. I want to stop it.
yeah. I would say like if I like this movie, and yes, they were doing crime, but I also love a movie where a guy beats the snot out of people who are doing crime. So
Yeah.
I feel like it levels out, you know.
It's something in the way.
Mm.
All right. Well, what about you guys?
Really just watching The Penguin.
Oh yeah.
Still,
We're very behind on that.
yeah, the 2 newest episodes, so I think we're up to episode 5.
Mhm.
They're crazy violent. But it's cool. I really like. So I've liked it since the beginning, but now you kind of see the exact direction they're going for like the rest of the series. I feel like I'm definitely invested.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, oh, give me a season 2. Like, I
Yeah.
really think that they're just doing this season to kind of flesh out this Gotham underworld. And I think they'll just do more series within this world
Mhm.
because of how popular the movie did.
They're planning a part 2, right?
Yeah.
For the Batman?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I'm not saying, oh, I already want a Penguin season 2.
Right.
I just think they should keep doing these little series to kind of give you a little more depth. And then for the movies, bring in Batman, do all this stuff. Because no one wants Batman in a series, right? You want the budget of a movie. But the series, you can kind of flesh out the city and
Yeah,
like
just
what's
some other
going
cool
on.
stuff with it.
But it's very graphic. In this
Yeah.
last couple episodes.
Also not for children.
No, it gets pretty gory. And then just watching My Hero Academia, man.
Oh, okay.
Just Tugging along.
There's like 30 seasons of that, isn't it?
No, only 7.
7? Okay.
There's a
Not there yet.
There's 7 seasons, 4 movies. The
Yeah.
4th one was just in theaters, so it's not really out yet.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
I've watched up until we talked about the other day.
yeah, you're in season 2.
I should be no. I think I'm in like that big old giant dude. They made mad like the villains did, and what's the name beat him.
You're definitely not past season 2.
That's only
from-
season 2. No, there's no way.
Yeah,
That's
so
anime.
okay, so
Yeah.
maybe there's only 7 seasons, but how many episodes are in each season?
Well, there's a
Don't say that's
Right.
anime because I
Awesome.
also watch Demon Slayer. And
Okay.
I'm like 3 seasons
Well,
in. One of the seasons is a movie,
yeah.
right? Like,
It's so short. It was a movie. So
yeah,
a little
but
different.
those seasons are really short too.
hey, I like content, man. I'm enjoying this show. It's fresh. I like
2
it.
seasons. There's no way.
Well, speaking of seasons, they finally confirmed a date for Daredevil.
Yes.
Born again, reborn, born again.
Say whatever you want, man.
Oh, boy.
No, I got to say it accurately.
Born again.
We're going on the internet. It has to be
Yeah.
true, man.
No, we're not even recording yet.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Is it going to be
Yeah,
based
Born
on the Born Again storyline?
Partially.
I think loosely.
It seems like they're tying
like
a lot of
like
different
everything from
things.
Disney, it's loosely based off of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion.
So-
it's loosely based off of
March 4th is the date, and it's
Yep.
supposed to be 9 episodes.
So I got a question for you. Like
Ask.
in the She-Hulk, he was wearing the yellow costume, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was the yellow costume.
No, but why?
Because it was the yellow
They're
costume.
going to explain it. That's what this next series is about.
Yeah.
How he got the yellow
It's how-
costume.
it's all first episode's like, so the yellow costume.
Yeah.
I'm blind. I
No,
didn't know
no.
it was yellow.
No,
Uh,
no. It's gonna be Dear Diary.
Dear
I
Diary.
found out my costume's yellow today.
I didn't realize She-Hulk was gonna tank. Glad I wore the yellow costume for that.
Yeah, because he was back.
Here
in the,
comes red.
He was back in the red in Echo.
Yeah.
Well, that's a flashback.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
that's
Though.
true. It was
Okay, but why go to the yellow at all? Like the yellow
fan
is.
service.
I understand the fan, but like that's
Is
his
there a
original.
lore reason?
I don't know.
Is he stupid?
The fact that it was in She-Hulk, I'm not worried about it. Like they wasted it on that. Like
Oh.
like it or not.
It's done.
Yeah.
That's the hard part for me. Is like you
She-Hulk was nominated for best
something.
visuals.
We don't have to.
Oh
Talk about
no
that.
way!
Yeah,
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
That's unfortunate.
Google it.
Oh my god! I'm gonna sit over here angry the rest of the time.
So you can't clown on She-Hulk too much. You got anything?
Yeah, I also finished playing the Epic Mickey remake.
Oh,
My
nice.
first playthrough. It is good. It is definitely the definitive version of the game now.
Mhm.
It's better than the Wii version.
Wait! But when it comes out for the next system, is that one gonna be the definitive version?
Yeah, the remake of the remake.
Uh huh.
It might be.
Because you know that's how they roll, right?
Yeah.
Remastered.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I'll say I feel like it kind of missed the mark in some places where it could have done better.
Who's Mark?
Mother's Bell.
They missed him.
They missed the mark. Mother's
Didn't
Bell.
use him.
He just keeps slipping through.
Yeah. There's just some bits where it still feels dated. It's
Yeah.
like it's so weird because they rebuilt the entire game from the ground up, like code wise and everything. So I don't know why they didn't change specific
Yeah.
things that were problems. Or like you could have made this cutscene better
Yeah.
or cooler than the original. I
It's
don't
like
know.
all the games you've played since then.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, the graphics look great and updated, but it's like
yeah. Some of the gameplay choices.
the
are
way we
weird.
play games now. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you guys could have changed some stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
It's also really funny, the tutorial scenes, the original cutscenes for them have like the Wii remote in them
Yeah.
on like a chalkboard, and it's like Mickey Mouse holding the Wii
Yeah.
remote to show you like, oh, here's the movement you do to do this move or
Yeah.
whatever. Now those cutscenes are just a blank chalkboard. They didn't reanimate
They didn't
them at all.
remove
It's just
the-
a green chalkboard for 2 seconds, and then
It's like, hey, can we
switches
take?
over.
How much would it cost to just take those chalkboards out? Leave them.
Fine.
Fans are gonna want to see them. Well, how much would it cost to put something on it? No, ain't got time. Leave them.
There's a lot more content in it, which is cool.
Yeah.
I didn't do all of it because I didn't want to,
I got you.
but
So it wasn't that
That's rough.
intriguing.
Yeah, I'll say there's some games that are like that. Where like, because I remember when that Hogwarts Legacy, whatever it's called,
yeah.
came out. Everybody's like Hogwarts, but then you can beat the main part in like under 10 hours, and then like I hear nobody talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still playing it, but
You're
I'm
playing everything though.
But I'm not the main story kind of guy.
Mm.
When I play Hogwarts Legacy, I get so sidetracked with the side stuff
Mhm.
that it's like I'll forget. Oh yeah, I gotta save the world or something. because I just like trying to find this like
That's too busy hell diving.
yeah.
That's how I play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then I ended up beating the final boss and just kind of haven't picked it up since. Because after that point, I'm just like, I'm done with it for now.
Legacy, I think
I'm not a completionist.
Legacy, I think, is a good example of having so much content that you can have fun with.
Mm.
Because they're just now talking about DLC.
So I feel like
Because people are still just playing the game.
Yeah.
And making new characters like, oh, I'm going to try, going for this school and being this kind of type of character.
I feel like it's so hard with games because, like what the most recent one I heard was like that Monkey King one. It's like a big deal, and like they just
Wukong?
they kind of come and go so quickly, and
Yeah.
I think it's tough to have a game where it's just going to have lots and lots of continuous play after the fact, and just because for sure you want to get your money worth out of it, but it kind of stinks when you get something you're like, oh yeah, I beat this part and now I'm kind of done.
Well, that's why you're seeing all these like free to play games.
Yeah.
Just dominating.
And
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Yeah. Oh
For
gosh.
some
Yeah. Every
reason.
10 years, you guys want Skyrim again? It's like, you're gonna make a new game? We're gonna give you Skyrim again. We added dogs in it. You want to play with dogs? And it's like,
Well, yeah, it's because especially with mobile gaming, like man, you get burned out playing the games where you gotta log in so many hours and like
Yeah.
you gotta do my dailies.
Well,
yeah,
the people who are really successful are the ones who are dumping hundreds of dollars. Like, come on, man, I'm a dolphin.
Like they're at work playing at their desk.
Yeah. I'm not going to keep up with them. I'd rather play something that I can do.
I really do like the free to play game platform now. Because it's like you're rewarded for how much time you play, but also you can have fun whether you put a ton of time in it or not,
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of those games I can play with my daughter, I can play with my buddies, students, like, and then like, yeah, I still like Hogwarts Legacy and these games that I can play on my own, but I like playing games with people. And so sometimes I get like, oh, I really don't want to play a game by myself. Like I want to play online. I want to play. And so. But that's cool to hear.
Yeah. So that's games.
That's games.
That's our game talk.
I also rewatched Lisa
Mean Girls?
Frankenstein
Oh, you did?
while you were gone.
Was it still as good?
It's still good, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a weird like lull after the first act ends, and like it kind of feels like the second act can't really pick up for a minute until like
Later on.
not
third.
good until the first like big event thing that the movie kind of follows. Like, oh, there's 3 of these big events, and
I still haven't watched it.
No. It's
I will watch it. It's not that I'm avoiding it.
Yeah.
it's on
Yeah.
Prime.
I always forget.
There's a good Halloween watch.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So happy Halloween, everybody, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is probably going to come out around
It's
day
coming out the
before.
day before
Day
Halloween.
before.
So tomorrow is Halloween.
Be
Happy
safe.
Halloween.
Ho ho ho!
I guess I'll say that.
Go back and watch our Wolfman episode.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Where we just argue a lot.
Or stay tuned for this episode.
About the dad. Most of the Wolfman was like arguing about the dad.
Like, no, you're an idiot.
He's not even a bad guy.
The dad made me
But he
feel
was
things.
That's
bad.
not even what an antagonist means.
He just didn't understand me.
He reminded me of my own dad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to get into this battle then?
Yeah,
Or we got
let's do
something
it.
else?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's get into this composer battle.
Yeah.
Jerry Goldsmith versus Bernard Herrmann. You got anything? Any of the names? I got it here. If you don't have it.
Nah, go ahead.
Okay.
I forgot to pull that up.
So Jerry Goldsmith. He's got 254 credits. He's got a lot.
They're all good.
Man, he's got Gremlins, Rambo, all the first 3 Rambos.
Yeah.
Nice.
He did The Mummy. He did Mulan. He did Planet of the Apes.
He did Mulan.
Rudy and
Alien.
Yep. Star Trek. And then of course he's got like 230 other ones that I
Yeah.
didn't mention.
They're so good.
So he's going up against Bernard Herrmann.
Bernard.
Bernard.
He's got
Finisher of movies.
He's got 92 credits.
He tried.
So not as much, but he also passed away.
Don't make me feel bad.
He was cut
Hey,
short.
dude, we would have got 1,000 if we could have kept him healthy.
But you weren't around when we did the battle with him last time.
No.
But he was hard to work with. That was his like.
Yeah, Bernard. Name like that.
Yeah, Herman with 2 R's and 2 N's.
Yeah. It's like just be Tom. Or just change
So
the name.
anyway, I
Just
think
be
that,
John
I
Williams.
think
Just
that
be
was part
John.
of, that was part of why he didn't have as much work. But he did like the Alfred Hitchcock.
Psycho.
Yeah,
Psycho.
he did Psycho.
No, I'm just calling you one.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. But he did do the movie Psycho. He did
Yeah.
Taxi Driver.
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest.
Yeah.
Journey to the Center of the Earth. Vertigo.
He did Citizen
Vertigo.
Kane. No, or am I thinking of someone
Citizen
else?
Kane.
Kane.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah,
Still.
didn't move.
No.
Robots.
So that's some of the movies that he did.
Robot.
Those are the battles. So
Hey, a half point over here.
you got a half point.
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Half point. Voting Jerry Goldsmith for one reason. Greatest movie ever. Mom and Dad Saved the World.
Nice. Nice.
Solid choice.
Super weird movie.
Yeah.
I remember watching it. Not a whole lot of people know about it or have watched it.
Mm-mm.
But the music is phenomenal.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, half point for Jerry Goldsmith.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Jerry Goldsmith.
Nice.
Ooh.
He's out of most of these guys in this tournament we're doing, he's always going to be kind of it's hard to cheat on him. I feel like when we don't make a weird face, but it's hard to pick someone else. How about that, Jeff?
I feel like you would come on to me because I was always like, because you're saying that I was always into the nostalgia of the. I feel like you're doing that.
Hey, that's fine. I'm pulling a bird. Nothing beats this guy. Look at his picks. I mean, most of my top movies, this guy, like...
If you saw him right now, you'd kiss him on the mouth.
No, probably wouldn't do that.
He'd get a big hug, though.
Yeah, he'd get a side hug, like a Christian side hug.
Cheek kiss.
Christian
side hug. He'd get a Christian side hug from me. But no, just most... I mean, gosh, dude, like...
He made you want a gremlin.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the feeling in the movies. So, I got to watch Alien in theaters earlier in the year for, the anniversary. Sitting in a movie theater, getting to experience this movie. Getting to feel it, the eeriness when it's awkwardly quiet. And then when he comes in, it's like he's telling you how to feel in the movie. And that's what you're supposed to do with music.
Yeah.
You're supposed to connect with people to where,
make them feel feelings.
Yes. And so, for me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you guys pick whoever you want. For me, it's Jerry the Golden Boy.
Plus, Mom and Dad Saved the World.
They did. They did save the world.
To a phenomenal soundtrack.
All right. Well, thank you for the permission for letting us choose how we're going to choose.
Yeah, good luck.
Hey, if you go nostalgia, then you're a bigot.
Well, nostalgia might be murdered. I don't know.
Murdered, you say?
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Because I call him a psycho.
How old do you think I am? Bernard Herrmann.
You're the oldest person in the room.
You're at least 25. Dude.
You're the oldest person in the room.
Yeah, you're at least 25.
True. That's true.
Anytime we do this,
both of those
you're
things
the oldest
are true.
person in the room.
Yeah. At least 25.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're going next.
So, yeah. I'm going Bernard Herrmann.
All right.
Oh, man.
I know.
All right.
I want to hear this.
All right, so I'm coming at this from kind of interesting...
Nostalgia. Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. So it's actually kind of the anti-nostalgia.
Okay.
Because I don't have super heavy connection to either of these guys' filmographies.
Yeah, that's because you're 12.
Yeah, I know.
At least 25.
I'm but a child.
You're at least 25.
So it's just more what I have listened to and what I come back to over and over again. And I have listened to both of their things a lot. I've listened to Alien a lot of times.
But every time he takes a shower, he listens to that Psycho soundtrack.
It's whenever we have him in a rush. Hurry up there! He's like,
just look alive, man.
Yeah, it gets me out quicker.
Yeah.
But I've listened to Taxi Driver probably twice as many times as Alien. Something about that.
It's just a better taste.
It's really nice.
Makes you want to drive a taxi.
Exactly. It makes me want to go become insane and be the role model for Joker.
There's an episode of Bob's Burgers where he does that. So Bernard Herrmann.
So Bernard Herrmann, yeah. We've talked about this before. I'm always more drawn to the more experimental guys.
Yeah.
And Bernard Herrmann birthed a lot of the experimental film music stuff. The way he does strings and things.
And back in the day too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you really haven't watched a lot of either of their movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't have a lot of actually watching these movies connections to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, until he started doing this podcast, he didn't really watch movies.
Exactly.
All books.
It was all books.
All
books and cars.
Yeah. So you want to watch Transformers? Yeah. I read the novelization of Transformers. It's all right. Yeah.
It has the...
That's the crossover I want.
Yeah. Don't worry. The novelization also has the lyrics to that Linkin Park song at the end, so you get the full effect.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Just because the taste really hits you.
Yeah. It's, yes, It's not a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
It's just I come back to it more.
And the fact that you haven't even watched any of those movies,
Yeah.
I think actually says more for why you picked them, because you're like you're legitimately just picking them
Only
for
the music. Yeah. So in a way, there is like some. I don't know that I can call myself an expert on any of his music because I don't know how it fits into the movies.
Right.
But as music on its own,
Well, I
I
mean,
can say.
And we got to vote how we know how to vote, right?
Right out of the gut.
Because that's the thing. Like the whole thing is that we're trying to. When we did it last week, I think, where you were talking about one of the composers that like, what are we doing? Voting?
Yeah, because
if
we're talking movies, then it's like, oh yeah,
Right.
obviously these movies beat these movies, but
Right.
we're talking music, so
music
then it's
with
like
the movie. Yeah. But since you haven't seen it, you got to vote how you know
yeah,
the
I mean,
how you
yeah,
know the music.
that's no wrong answers,
Right. There's no wrong answer.
Except when you're wrong.
except when you're wrong.
So I'm the deciding vote.
Yeah.
Because
Essentially.
right now Jerry Goldsmith's up half point.
yeah,
Big moment.
Yeah, big moment.
You're either gonna break my heart.
I
or,
was tossed up for a while.
Yeah.
Because these guys are both. I do have the nostalgia, and like we talked about it with Planet of the Apes.
Sometimes. I forgot he did Planet of the Apes.
He did Planet of the Apes, which was a great soundtrack.
That is a good score. You want to talk about experimental
score? Yeah.
Jerry Goldsmith also knows how to do it.
The first Rambo movie,
Mhm.
he nailed it on that one too.
Yeah.
And then Bernard Herrmann, who's like just did everything for Alfred Hitchcock that like brought his movies to life.
That guy wouldn't have movies.
Created
honestly.
a whole genre
Yeah.
Yeah.
of music style. You know?
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, this is gonna be
It's tough.
a really hard one to choose. But then
So he chose John Williams.
right. No, ultimately I ended up going with
Oh man, stop it, dude.
Bernard Herrmann.
Ah!
Yeah. Bernard
Bernard.
Herrmann.
I'm gonna be silent rest of the podcast.
He's
Sorry.
heartbroken.
Sorry.
This is
It's okay.
He was
this is
just,
his Giacchino moment.
Oh man,
it was just like we
I'll
just
never
said.
forgive you guys.
The upsets.
It was like we just said, right?
Right after I said there's no wrong answers, and I
Yeah,
was like looking at Bird like, oh,
And
I
it's like,
regret
there's
it.
the wrong answer, dude.
there is now. There's wrong answers. Now. I'm just kidding.
No, just like we were just saying, like the way that he composed for those movies, you can't separate it.
Yeah.
And it was perfect for those movies that he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
what do you do? 12 movies? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, you might say
he passed away, man. Respect.
He died
It
so
would've-
young.
It would have been really interesting if he was still around.
Well, yeah, he'd be like what, like 112? Or-
No,
It'd be really interesting. He'd be president, probably.
he'd definitely be in the hundreds. But I didn't mean like around like now. But you know, if he still was able to,
Yeah.
whatever, dude.
Like he helped co-produce Fern Gully or something.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But
Weird choice.
that, and then if he was born in this era,
Oh, dude.
that would have been interesting.
He's
to
on
see.
TikTok. Bernard
I
Herrmann.
mean, yeah,
That dude would honestly, dude. I think you're probably right. Like
he might be like Hans Zimmer, where Hans Zimmer is like he's kind of like forward thinking.
it's like when Tony Stark's dad's telling him, he's like, "My hands were tied because of technology at the time, but like Uke will solve this problem."
Exactly.
If we
That
had a
would be-
time machine, we could go save Bernard Herrmann.
Who knows what crazy stuff he would have come up with?
yeah, because you might say there's something.
Something in the way.
Whoever composed that one is gonna.
Oh, that was Bernard Herrmann. Oh, the ghost of Bernard Herrmann.
Yeah, I'm
Secret
sure.
Nirvana
I
member.
am sure that Nirvana was influenced by Bernard Herrmann. That's how confident
In
I am in my vote.
Seattle, they watched the movies. Yeah, okay.
So Bernard Herrmann's gonna move on
Yeah.
in the tournament.
And if you think Bird's wrong, just let us know, and we will unpack that.
If you want to support me, go ahead and let us know.
For some reason, support Bird with Bernard Herrmann. Tell me I'm wrong. I guess.
I'm
Yes.
gonna go ahead and switch my vote to Bernard Herrmann.
Dude, come on!
I just want to be on the winning side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean Bernard Herrmann, I think, is just the better movie composer.
Hey, out of bitterness, I will just vote for whoever he's against next time. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
That's why we call him Half Point Hayden.
Well, Shall we announce who he'll eventually go against?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right.
Do we already know?
We
Yeah.
do. So, next battle will be the return of Hans Zimmer
Okay.
Okay.
versus who should have been Ramin Djawadi.
Rami.
But based on the fact that their styles are so similar and we already know that he is not
Yeah.
going to beat Zimmer,
Yeah.
we're going to wild card someone in
Yeah.
from way back when.
Glass shattering.
Before the Hayden days.
Yeah.
We're bringing Joe Hisaishi back
Boom.
of Studio Ghibli fame.
Right.
Ghibli.
Is it Ghibli?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like giblets.
He's not wrong.
Solid way to remember.
Studio giblets.
He's not wrong.
So it will be Hans Zimmer, Joe Hisaishi, very different styles. I'm excited about it.
All right.
Yeah.
So who's getting a half point next
Start
week?
casting your. I get the half point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Start casting your votes, guys. Let us know who you
Yes.
should win. Who should
Yes.
win out of that battle?
Start listening to him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's. I thought you were going to mention who Bernard Herrmann was going up against.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's
too.
what I
Well,
thought
it's
too.
going to be one of those two. 'cause
Oh.
they're in the same bracket as
okay.
Yeah, you gotta lead with that, bro.
Okay.
No, that's what I was trying to imply, but I guess
Yeah, I
it
think
was
he's like
not.
implying we already know who's
It's
going to
the
win that battle.
implication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are these women in danger? No.
It's the
It's the
implication.
implication.
All right. Well, let's
All right.
go ahead and move on to our main battle.
Let's do it.
All right. Tail of the tape. You guys.
Family versus
You-
family.
Yeah. Halloween special.
Vin Diesel.
Oh,
All right. So the Addams Family, 1991. It's a PG-13 movie.
It's great.
And it's an hour 39 minutes. Directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. Stars Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, Christopher Lloyd, Christina Ricci, and Jimmy Workman as the main Addams Family. And the music was done by Mark Shyman. And it's going up against the Addams Family 2019 animated version, which is a PG-rated movie, and it runs at an hour 26 minutes. A little shorter.
They got to the point.
Two directors on it: Greg Tiernan and Conrad Vernon. And the voices are Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron, Chloe Grace Moritz, and Finn Wolfgard, and Nick Kroll. And a special appearance by Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I love
We're going to talk about that.
And
talk
then
about
the
that.
music was done by also two guys, Jeff and Michael Dana. So that is the tail of the tape for the Addams Family. Let's get into the battle.
Let's get into it.
I've got categories.
We've got categories.
We're back
So,
to categories.
yeah, if you guys don't know, this is how we judge the movies. We have categories, and we just each give points to whichever one we prefer.
Mhm.
And
then
the
argue
sweet
about
science
it.
of that, yeah,
and
Well,
defend our answers
we declare a winner after
like
that.
we're
so.
wrong or something.
All right.
No, we just give reasons, not
Oh, I got you.
defenses.
I'm gonna stop giving reasons. Just be like, that's just what it is.
It's correct.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
just correct. It's like, Hayden, you're terrible.
Okay. Well, let's get to it then.
All right. So, first off, possibly the most important part of an Addams Family movie.
The logo.
The Addams.
The Addams. But yeah, the family
you're doing a
dynamic.
whole bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, family dynamic. Okay.
Like the family
The
unit.
how they work together,
Mhm.
their personalities clashing and melding.
Well, okay. So I think there's another category we're gonna do that kind of talks more about like expanding on their like
Mhm.
dynamic. So knowing that, just talking about like the family, how like they operated on screen, I'm gonna go with the 1991, just because I feel like with the new one, you're kind of seeing like the origin story a little bit with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of like fleshing things out. So where the 1991 version, being live action, you go into it already like they assume everyone's going to already know like kind of this character dynamics. So they just do a good job with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm going to go with 1991.
Okay. I'll start off by saying that I did like both of the movies.
Yeah.
The animated was more origin type with
Yeah.
it was a quick origin,
Yeah.
but it was more origin with the beginning. And I didn't think I was gonna like it at all.
Yeah.
But I did end up liking it.
That's interesting. I came at it exactly the opposite.
Really?
I was like, I feel
He
like
was
this-
really hopeful. He was like,
I was
yeah.
like, this seems like it could be decent. I like the idea of
Uh-huh.
an animated Addams Family movie because they lend themselves
Yeah.
well to an
Transylvania
animated
did good.
Yeah.
So it's like,
book. Yeah, same thing.
yeah. It's like, I got it. I've seen
Yeah.
this.
But
There was-
I did not like it very much.
There was parts of it that didn't work for me also.
Yeah.
But overall, like I thought it was a good kids movie.
Yes.
You know.
And that's one of my thoughts I'll probably share later.
Yeah, and because I think we have to take them for what they are too, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, this one is a PG movie. The other one's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
So different audiences.
Yeah.
And so I like them both for what they were. I think they each had their little problems, but they also each had their good points. But as far as the families, I also go with the 91 version. I think obviously Christina Ricci was great as Wednesday,
Yeah.
right? She had a very small role,
Yeah.
but she was almost like a standout.
Yeah.
Actually, she was a standout because even in the second one, she played a bigger role in the movie.
The second one's like when they're like at that camp
Yeah.
or whatever.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it in a year.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that one next year. So she was great. I thought Angelica Houston as Morticia was great.
Dude, the cast of the 1991
Is
one.
Raul
great.
Julia, I mean,
He is Gomez.
yeah, like the way that he talks to her, I thought was good. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
calling her Tish all the time.
Yeah.
Like-
Like I thought that was sweet, you know? Like,
How he perceives her
yeah,
is kind of like, that's how you need to perceive your wife, dude.
Right.
Like how he talks about her and he's there for her and he like comes in while she's sleeping. He's just like, oh man, I would kill for you. I would die
oh,
for you.
God,
And it's like-
Mia.
yeah, like the whole movie, you're just like, dang,
He's
like, yeah.
kissing
This
on
guy
her
is
hand.
Yeah,
in
I was
love.
like texting Autumn like, I love you so much. and all this stuff. Like, oh man, like I need to step up my game, Gomez.
No,
dude.
you definitely feel a little inadequate after seeing.
Yeah, I mean
seeing how
that's relationship goals right there. It's just the two of them because he's a goofy looking dude and
Right.
like, but they're in love, man.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they work really well, and then the way that they parent, also worked, right?
Yeah.
Just that, like, they have love for their kids, but it's opposite of what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so when they're doing like a knife thing, like, don't use that knife.
Yeah,
Use this big one.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like, oh, that's funny. But like, they're doing it in a loving way
Yeah.
that works for the Addams family. And so I just think they did a better job in the live action.
I also vote 1991.
Wow.
I just feel like they work so much better, and you can see in how they interact that the family dynamic is played out so much better. The new one felt really disjointed to me, right? Because the mom has a rift with the daughter, and the dad has a rift with the son, so they're not really operating as a family.
yeah,
Mm.
And on top of that, like, you got all this stuff going on with the lady that's in town, and so those stories kind of take a backseat to the greater narrative.
yeah.
And I don't think this is a matter of, well, one's PG, one's PG-13. Like, I think it's a matter of, like, you gotta tighten your storytelling, right? And in the 1991 version, they do a really good job of those little moments where she's like walking by with the knife. She's like, "No, ma'am." She takes it and then hands her the bigger one, right? Like, they show you, like, we're different. And the newer one, it's like over the top. They're like, what's her face keeps shooting Uncle Fester with the arrows, like it's just so over the top. They're flying up in the air in a rocket, like they're trying too hard to tell you we're different.
Mhm.
And for me, that just didn't really work. Like, I thought the movie was fine. I wouldn't want to necessarily watch it again. And the spirit of it was so different too, right? Like, the 1991 was so fun, and like, it's so lighthearted. And even when it gets serious, like, the main story is like finally like playing out, and things take that turn that they have to take for there to be a real conflict.
There's still like a camp to it.
They still got, and they lean heavily into it. Like, Raul Julia's perfect choice, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's hamming this up just as much as he did
In Street Fighter.
in Street Fighter. Yeah, and you're like, Like you could not have picked a better
he was
actor.
Bison
Yeah.
in Street Fighter.
You could not have picked a
gosh.
better actor to play the role of Gomez Addams.
Yeah.
How did...
Yeah, it's just he's so, and it's sad that he passed away so early. Like
he's dead. I'm just kidding.
No,
just keep going. No, okay. All right.
I feel like we could have got a lot more really fun roles out of him.
Yeah.
And so that's
He's
why
right up there with Bernard Herrmann. Dude.
my vote goes 1991, man.
They're sitting together and watching this podcast.
I think that's how the afterlife works, man.
I have to have some theological
Read your Bible.
conversations.
Hey.
All right, we already know.
Yeah, I'm going for the 91 version on this one.
Okay.
Wow.
I think you guys just you went over every thought I have already with it. Like, every character feels like they have some sort of, like, it feels very clearly thought out what all of their relationships with each other are. Whereas in the new one, there were times like, I don't know how the mom feels about Pugsley. Is there a single interaction between them? I do not remember.
I don't know.
Like if you would have told me in this new one they actually didn't have these kids, they adopted them. Like I would have believed it.
Yeah,
because it's like there's no, like there is, like the more you sit here and think about it, it's like, yeah, like they're still figuring out like how young were the kids. Yeah. There's no, like they weren't like 2. Like, they've had them for a while, but there was just parts where it's like they're trying to figure out stuff, and like they're learning about the family, and it's like you're just now learning about the family stuff. Like it seemed, like it did. It was like not believable.
Yeah, that part's for you.
Do what?
Like they're learning about the family, right? Like it's supposed to position the movie in a way that for you're learning about the family.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense in the context because they've grown up in this home with these people.
Yeah.
They should know about the family.
Yeah.
What do you mean,
ahead.
like, know what about the family?
Well, like they're just already like a family unit? Because like how I've always perceived Addams Family is they're kooky to the world.
And creepy.
Right. But they're actually how you need to operate out as a family. Like, be involved in your kid's life. Like, be there. Talk. Do things together. Be loving and caring first. Like, yeah, they do dangerous stuff, but when you break down why they do things, and they're talking to their kids about the family, and they're not hiding stuff from the kids, they're involving things, and they're being like...
That's probably why they included the weird beginning part where, like, they get chased out of town and end up in New Jersey. Like, so they're closed off, right? But it still doesn't make sense to me that the kids don't have like a greater understanding of the significance of this event that's coming up for Pugsley. Like, so he's bumbling it, right? And like, I get where they were going. Like, you got to do it your own way, and that's better than trying to do it the way we've always done it. But like, it still doesn't make sense that he wouldn't understand the significance and the weight of what they're doing, because it just feels like he's blowing it off most of the time.
I think that it does make sense because I think that's what they were trying to do is. With that beginning part where they're like they go through this like traumatic experience, right? Just 2 of them, and then they find their place that they're gonna live, and they're like, we're not even gonna tell them about other people. So in the one hand, like they don't have that family thing like in the even the original series, right? Where everyone knows everything about everyone. Yeah. Right. So Morticia's like holding this stuff back from the kids, from Wednesday specifically, and so she's like trying to rebel against her. Right? So like they're trying to do a little update on
it's like the mom-daughter relationship from Tangled. Like it's weird. It's like
but so like when I see it that way, it makes sense to me that they don't know what's going on because the parents are purposely holding things back.
Well, the kids don't know.
And then, but I thought that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean by family?
But all of them, it feels like they don't know what's going on. That's what I'm saying. Like, you would think the adults at least knew. It's like they go into that town and they're just like, oh, wow, like blown away. It's like, where have you been? Like,
they've been by themselves. They've been on the hill by themselves.
Well, so, and this is what I'm not
just
talking
living
about.
in the woods. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
I'm not even talking about what's going on beyond the gates, right? I'm talking about in your home. Pugsley has grown up with this family, grown up in this household, yet he doesn't understand the weight and the significance of the his upcoming whatever it was called.
Right.
Makushka.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think that was I think that made sense again because later on, Gomez is like, I messed up. I didn't do this right.
No, but he didn't do it right in allowing him to be himself.
Yeah.
But he is talking to him about how important it is.
But even
and Pugsley clearly is like until like halfway through the movie doesn't even really look at the book or try to start learning these things. Like it's clear that it's just not important to him.
Yeah.
Right. And that's when it comes to family, like maybe unless he's in the same rebellious streak that Wednesday is in, it doesn't make sense for the story.
Yeah.
It's more
in
of
which
a
case
framing.
Then you have two characters that are too similar, and then it's weird.
Well, to me,
it's like,
I think it was just a framing way, a way to frame it for us, the audience, to come in and like learn about them. And it's hard for me because I'm like, well, you should be learning about them through the eyes of the people of the town anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
so you're doing it in two ways.
Like them being separated, it makes it feel like the Transylvania animated movies.
Mhm.
So that's like, for me, it did. It felt very like, I don't think you were trying to be Addams Family. Like, I think you were trying to cash cow off, what is it, like 4 Transylvania now? Like Hotel Transylvania?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels very like, I don't think you guys were like watch the other stuff, you know, like you know how Hollywood does that. They just want a name and then they'll do what they want with it.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was saying. Like they were trying to do like an updated version of what a family now would like.
Yeah, you don't.
The mom and the daughter
that.
don't get along, and the father and the son have this
and
relationship.
The dad's dumb. You got to make sure the dad's dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think they were trying to do that kind of thing.
It's bad.
But if you look at it as like it's the origin. Now, them being that old was probably a mistake, right? Like if they were younger, then you can go like, okay, they're building to what we know them as the Addams family. Right?
I like Lurch's origin though.
Lurch,
I didn't like Lurch in the movie at all.
I didn't like.
Well, I didn't say I liked him in the movie. I liked his origin.
That he was insane.
That he was just an insane dude, and they were like, "Here, take our bags," and he was just like, you're not afraid of me? And then, like, he just went with it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and became a slave. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Good job, Hayden.
Yeah, so
I didn't say I liked the character. I said I like how they at least
You
showed...
like how they enslaved him.
That's why in high school he was told...
Yeah, tell us how you love the new crappy family dynamic, Bird. That's fun.
I voted for the first
Tell us how much you love Hollywood now.
On the note, though, because I feel like we didn't talk about the kind of extended family very much right there, including like the family dynamic. Yeah. It's not going to change my vote at all. But I specifically want to point out they did Fester dirty in the new one. Why is he an absolute idiot? Like, serious, I hate it so much.
That's kind of what I was hitting on. Like when I was talking about the importance of this event, like in the 1991 version, like it's clear they have a deep connection to their family. Like when they go out and like the cemetery, all the gravestones are there. Like they know by name who they are. They know how they died. Like they clearly spend a lot of time out there. Like even in the new one, like they try to do a seance, comes out of nowhere. Like it doesn't fit because you've not built up to that. Yeah. If they did that in the old one, it would have fit just fine. It would have made sense because they did the work. And so this new one, it feels like they're trying to skip some of those steps. Yeah. And for me, it just doesn't work.
Well, like, they're so family-oriented that when Christopher Lloyd shows up, they're like, there's no question. He's just like, my brother! Like, he's just so excited.
And can we just...
And there's so many points where it's like, that's clearly not your brother.
Just the next time you walk into my house, I'm just going to throw a saber at you and we're going to fight.
Yeah. That's what brothers do. Yeah. They fight. Just wakes you up with
like
knives.
When the insurance guy shows up, like, or whatever he
Dude,
does.
I love that.
Yeah, that scene is, he's like
he knew it was going to happen. Yeah, he was like prepared. Because he like gets the sword, he like already knows, like, all right, for me to talk to this guy, like I need to
and not get his die. Respect. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Any person that tries soliciting at my house. If you beat me in a fight, I will hear your spiel.
That scene was wonderful.
Yeah.
And it tells you so much about the character.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm saying. Like
they used every minute in that movie.
Yeah, and it was all show instead of like this over the top. Because like they were trying to show. I'm not gonna fault them because they were trying.
Yeah.
But I felt like their efforts were so over the top. For me, it just didn't work. You know?
It just felt like Hotel.
Because it did.
So like, I feel like we know which movie's
going
to win.
It feels like Hotel
I
Transylvania.
don't know because I do have some. That's why I wanted to do it category by category.
Just wait till we get to Snoop Dogg. Next category, go.
Oh, I'm gonna rant about Snoop Dogg.
You don't like Snoop Dogg?
I didn't like that cameo.
I liked
We'll
it.
hear about it.
The only reason I watched the Olympics this year.
Faux shizzle.
All right, antagonist.
Okay.
We've got two.
So we've got the Tully guy, right? The one that you were just talking about.
No, because I'd
No,
say it's more
it's
he's
gonna
a
be
the
minion.
doctor lady.
He's a minion.
mom, the
Okay.
mom fake psychiatrist.
Okay. All right.
What's her name?
The Tully guy's a minion.
I don't remember what her
Doctor
name is.
whatever.
Dr. Hogenstein or something.
I'll
She
look it
made
up
up
while
the
you're-
name, right?
Yeah.
I'll look it up while
She
you're
got like
doing
three
that.
Alright,
names. In the movie.
Yeah.
Versus Margot, which there were a few moments in the new one which genuinely made me laugh. And one of them was when her name shows up on her commercial and it's spelled with like an EAX.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a white woman thing to do. That was a very obvious white woman joke. It's so funny.
Dr. Greta Pinderschloss.
Pinderschloss.
Kinderschloss.
There you go. That's the 1991 villain or antagonist.
Antagonist.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I'm gonna go Margot on this one,
Mhm.
just because the mom / psychiatrist, like, I don't know, she was there and she definitely like was a big part of the story, but Margot was straight like putting cameras in people's houses.
Oh, she was
and,
wild.
Like, I mean, she clearly cared about her show more than her kid. Like, if we're talking antagonists, like who would you rather fist fight? Like, Margot was a bad dude, you know? Like, she was causing issues. And then the end of the movie, she just is in love with Uncle Fester. Like, they end up being...
No question
You-
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
you
It
knew
just
it was
happened.
I saw
coming,
that
but it was not
coming.
earned. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to... I mean, we're just talking, like, character to character.
Now,
I'm
if
just
she got,
picking
like,
her.
hit in the head by a boulder and
Yeah.
then fell in love with him, that would be funny.
Yes.
But
We're not talking about love. I'm just her kid.
That could have happened. We just didn't see it.
That's in the unrated version of
Director's cut.
2019 director's cut of the Addams Family, where it shows the mom talking to the Pugsley. Pugsley, how was your day? Great, mom. And then it's like, and they just like leave.
fixed every
Yeah.
problem.
Boom. What do you have to say now, haters?
Yeah, yeah.
Suck it, Hotel Transylvania.
Okay, so you go, Margot.
Yeah, she was just a badder person. The other mom was just like, yeah, you're a terrible person. But Margot was like, I mean, dirtbag tactics.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if there's ever a character setup that you go, yeah, I don't like you.
yeah.
It's when the kid was like, hey, Ma, what about me? And she's like, oh, you're just a kid.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's your kid?
I want to own this town. And it's like, oh,
That's
gosh.
the thing.
One of my
I've-
favorite parts is when at the end the kid is like, I knew I should have moved with dad.
That was funny. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and see, like, normally I'd be like, oh, man, that's such a sad thing. But it was funny because she was so dislikable.
I'm telling you, man, Margot. That's
I-
why I picked her.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the movie itself, and this was like one small part that fed into the whole thing. But how Joe was talking about, how like the entire thing just feels over the top.
Mhm.
That's how I felt about her also.
Yeah.
Oh, she was
Like
definitely
from
on
the
top.
start, it felt very. Everything about it felt like very ham-fisted, heavy-handed. We're gonna shove these themes in your face.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they go into the town and the kids are all singing. It's so great to be like everyone else.
And
Like
that one kid's
it-
just like,
it
she's
just
singing,
made-
but she's like, no.
yeah, it just made my head hurt because like you don't have to have that in there. I understand what the themes are that you're
Yeah.
going for, but it's so like you think I'm an idiot.
It's
movie.
heavy-handed.
Yeah,
Well, they made
it
it.
was super.
They
super
made it for kids.
Right.
Like, it's
but
very
that's the
much.
thing. Kids could have understood, and I think would better understand with the original Addams
Yeah.
Family. Still,
Oh, I'm definitely not defending
I-
it.
I
I'm
don't-
just saying.
I will never fall, or like not fall, I guess,
Yeah.
but like never go with the argument. Oh, it's just a kids movie because
Yeah.
they deserve good
Well,
movies. Also,
Sure.
Again, I'm not defending it. I'm just, my argument I always go back to, when you do something just for one group of people, only that group of people is going to enjoy it. Like we just watched The Wild Robot a while back in theaters. It was fantastic.
Mhm.
Was it kid appropriate? Yes. Could a kid watch it? Yes. But did adults get emotional about it? Yeah.
Right.
Like, you can do both.
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
And so, like,
feel
I agree with you,
Yeah.
but they're going to keep doing these projects where it's like, well, we want to make something just for these people.
And there's not necessarily a problem with that if you're going different demographics, but like I feel like kids is a weird demographic there where it's like you can still make something good. When you're saying I'm making this for kids, a lot of the time what you're saying is I don't want to put effort into making an actual
I think you have to go back to like why is this coming out, right? Like when with Spider-Man we'd be like, oh, Sony doesn't want to lose the licensing, right? That's easy. But I don't think anybody was asking for this. And I agree. I think Hotel Transylvania's success has a lot to do with why it exists.
You got to compete against it.
And unfortunately, like the actors in it, and I'm not like knocking them or their careers or anything, but like this is an easy money for them, right?
Yeah.
Easy money. You go into a studio, do voiceover, and
I'm not judging Oscar Isaacs for doing this.
But I agree. I agree with TallBeing there. Like it is so over the top, and I agree. You can do stuff for kids that is intelligent and is poignant she was so over the top and just I don't know it and she matches the tone of the movie, which is fine, right? Yeah. And there were some moments that I thought were worth a chuckle or whatever. But I think I just liked, and this is not nostalgia talking, just this is me like seriously thinking about the two antagonists, and I'm like, the Dr. Greta whatever, like not only was she like seeking the money, right, and like really abusive to the kid, to her kid, but like is clear that she's done some like real psychological damage to him, right, and gets the one dude to be an underling, and
which is crazy because he came to her.
He owed her money, obviously, right?
Yeah, but like, he still is the one who kind of proposed a lot, and then she ends up just taking control.
I like how the wife just left him at the end for wasn't it?
He's in a grave, bro.
That's right.
Dude, it's so funny, man. That like
he's in a grave.
Like he
died.
Like she straight up just like I feel more comfortable in this family
with the little fur ball.
Yeah,
I love how they were able to piece together the demise of the Addams, or at least their intended demise, right? Like having the guy across the street that like clearly hates Gomez and his golf balls, like, and the dude seeing and knowing, like, once he hears that tidbit about Uncle Fester being the oldest and that everything's going to belong to him or should belong to him, like, and so they really, it works together. I don't know. For me, she's just a lot better of an antagonist because I think that she does a better job of like trying to play the game, right? Like she's tries to help them, and she even like has that session with Gomez and convinces him that like it's his problem and not Uncle Fester's, that there's this rift, right? And that's just diabolical, man. It's diabolical.
You're talking about the 91.
Yeah,
91.
Yeah.
I mean, Margot got like a whole town to revolt.
Cameras in people's houses.
Started destroying their house.
Low,
She's got cameras in their house. That's why I would go Margot. Like she was literally like, "I'll go to war with you."
And it's not even just houses. It was like
she's gonna go to social media war.
Like I see what you're saying. Like
she's like, I can see you sitting backwards on the toilet.
like 1991. Like it was a better character to fit with the better movie.
Yeah.
But Margot straight up. I mean, they had catapults.
If she wasn't there, that movie, like, it would just be the Addams family up on the hill having a good time. So like she caused the movie
definitely was like, what's your one job, Margot? To further the plot, because no one else is gonna do it.
Right.
And that character did it.
So let's talk about this, because here's where I have a real problem with the movie, right? She does further the plot, but she doesn't necessarily have to, right? If she didn't exist, they still have two plots that they've set up. Right? They have the issue with Wednesday and Mom and the issue with Pugsley and his dad. And you could have played those out and had a movie. No problem. Now, it would not have been like family altering, home destroyed level, right? And the fact that it escalated to that level, like, again, I know it's a kid's movie, and so it's kind of extreme. Yeah. Right? That's why I like the way that things played out in the 91 version better, because they aren't destroying the house. They're just trying to steal the money. Like, that's understandable. Like, that's a more understandable plot. Like, wanting to destroy a house that's on a hill, that just because it may be in the skyline of your town is not motivation. Right?
You're just a psycho.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. It's very cartoonish.
It is cartoonish. I mean,
feels right for the movie.
Yeah, they're pushing everything over the top. And again, I get it. I understand. It's a kid's movie. Yeah. I just don't. For me personally, I'm like, that's a little too carnage. I can't buy into it.
I preferred Margot because of her straight. She wants to portray herself on TV as this thing. It's a complete lie. Like everything about it's a lie.
Yeah, but the mom in 91 is doing the same thing, right? Like she's portraying something that she's not to the whole family convincingly, right? And she doesn't try to burn their house down or anything. She executes her plan and even like uses her underlings well, because when homeboy shows up with the judge and is like, here's what we're going to do, like she executes it, like lets him roll with that part. And they go searching for the money.
Yeah, I think that the reason that I'm going with the animated version is because we're talking about who was the better antagonist, who was written better, the 91 version.
Yeah.
But the animated, like I said, if she wasn't there, it would be like you said, those other plots, which would have made a fine movie, I'm sure.
Just boring.
But which is why I'm saying,
I mean, I don't know that it would be boring because.
This is why I'm saying that, like, I don't understand. So for me, I'm like, I don't understand. And I get where you guys are coming from. But for me, there's a disconnect. Because legitimately, without Margot, the movie can still happen and still has an A plot and a B plot. And you can still have things happen and nobody would be the wiser. Like, she is not necessary for this movie to finish. In 1991 version, if mom doesn't exist, the movie doesn't happen.
But that's my point for voting for her, is that if she wasn't in the movie, sure, we'd still have a movie, but there'd be no antagonist. So the category is who's the better antagonist. It's her.
I don't think you understand what an antagonist is. And we ran into this when we were talking about. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. An antagonist is not a bad guy. Yeah. An antagonist is the person who is hindering the protagonist from growing or accomplishing their goals.
But
so if we remove her,
like destroying their house,
listen, if we remove her, then the antagonists would be, in the case of Morticia and Wednesday. In Morticia's case, it would be Wednesday, and in the case of Pugsley and Gomez, it would be Gomez who's pushing Pugsley to do this thing, right? And so you have antagonists. And so what I'm saying is, if she's not necessary for the movie to exist, she's not a good antagonist. She doesn't matter, and she is obviously not well written.
All right, so we're going Margot, me and you.
Margot.
All right.
50-50 split.
Did you vote?
I'm going 91, but
okay.
I'm not talking more about this.
We just ordered chicken strips at a Mexican restaurant, and Joe was like, I hate you both.
All right, what's the next one?
All right. The overall atmosphere that the movie presents through how the characters are designed, how the world is designed, lighting and things.
Or lack of lighting.
Or
it's
lack of
has
lighting.
That gothic feel to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
91. Done.
Yeah, I mean...
That was a real short answer, Joe. Are you sure you
I'm gonna say the main reason, like, I turned on the 2019 version and immediately, like, it's just not a pleasant movie to look at.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's the animation budget, maybe it was something about the lighting and coloring, but I get what they're going for, of like, oh, the Addams family looks all weird and creepy compared to everyone, but everyone looks terrible. I don't want to look at any character designs from this movie ever again, except maybe Wednesday. The braids that turn into nooses are kind of cool. That was a cool character design. But other than that, absolutely nothing in this movie that makes me go, oh yeah, that's cool and original.
But see, so we're talking about what all fits together, right?
Yeah.
I think it all fits with that movie. Like, it all looks like that. You just said it, right? So, like, it can compete,
but it's not good.
I can give that the Addams family themselves fit the theme, at least the animation of the new one. Yeah. But I think I would agree with him that everybody else does not.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're supposed to be the normies.
Yeah.
Right? But even when you look at the lady's daughter, you're like, well, there's something wrong with her.
Yeah,
right?
She looks off.
Yeah. And
which
then
I
when
think is supposed to be like foreshadowing of like, oh, she is trying to break away from everyone else, but it's still...
But she's not the only one. Like, because the girl that's picking on her also doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Right? But they're supposed to be the normal ones. Right? And I would understand if this would be brilliant of them. Clearly not something that they did, right? If as the movie progressed, they all became even more weird looking because really they're the monsters, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones who are messed
Oh,
up.
that would
Which would have been a better
Yeah.
story.
But that's what I picked up from the movie, which is
Oh.
why I'm like, it wasn't that bad of a movie because
I
that
think
was
you're reading too much into these movies, man.
maybe I
He
am,
is.
but look, because
I'm just looking for the good story.
that was the point of the movie is like the normal people aren't normal. They've got all they use the bathroom backwards. You know, they do all these monstrous things, and with the bully also being weird looking, with the daughter being weird. She's clearly malnourished because the mom doesn't take care of her. Like, you know, I think they're
What
making
some would say a real antagonist. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think that was the point of the movie is that they're trying to show like, well, just
you
because
watched
they're
it in
different
California.
doesn't mean
Different vibes out
With his
there.
cool
that's
cousin.
right.
That's
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
Her nephew.
They're trying to show that they're the same, even though they're different. So, like, for them to look still a little weird, I think was part of the point of the movie. Now, whether or not you like the look as your preference, and that's why I thought I wasn't gonna like the movie because I didn't like the animation style. I don't like the animation style of Hotel Transylvania. I don't like the animation style of like SpongeBob.
Oh, man. You
Like-
taking shots?
Yeah. I don't.
The comments are coming for you.
Yeah, bring out the list.
There's certain movies.
He
that-
told me before the start he also doesn't like the animation style of Spider-Verse.
Oh no,
Dude, are you serious?
It's over.
that's not
I'm
true.
gonna pray for
That's
you,
not
dude.
true.
I'm
That
gonna
was not
pray
true.
for you, dude.
Please do, but not
I'm
for
always
that.
praying for you.
Your demise.
So I don't even know where I was.
Hey, the side characters look just as weird, so it's like,
His vote goes 2019.
Did I
Boom.
vote?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna vote 91.
oh, well, then why are you? All right, I'm gonna do what Bird should have did. I'm going 91.
I already voted 91.
All right, cool.
It has a very like.
Why do we fight for it
Burnt-esque.
so long? That wasn't
I'm
me
just-
this time. Listen,
I know
that
it
wasn't
wasn't
me
you this
I'm
time.
just-
I know.
That wasn't me.
I'm trying to be fair to the movies.
Devil's
Hey,
advocate
you know?
kind of
Hey,
thing.
they're
No,
not-
not devil's.
You're not being fair to our listeners. We're sorry, listeners.
They have-
Unless they like the movie.
That's what I'm
then it's
saying.
fine.
Like we don't know. They might be big fans of it. I'm trying to show you their side.
Which is okay.
Yeah, hey, because legitimately out there somewhere in the world, this is someone's favorite movie.
I
And you
refuse
just
to
pooped all over it, Hayden.
Yeah, you just pooped on a 6-year-old. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh man, Hayden, how could you do that? Think of your daughter. All right, what's the next one?
All right. Exploration of the main themes of the Addams Family, what they mean, what they represent, and which movie kind of does that idea better. Because I have a take on this.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, you go first because I'm still trying to.
Okay,
Figure
so I
out
I'm
think
tired of
Shit.
arguing.
you've kind of touched on one of the main ideas
Okay.
before of like
Touched.
the idea of the Addams Family partially is they look weird on the outside, but this is how a family kind
Yeah,
of is
it's
supposed
actually
to be.
the healthiest family dynamic.
Yeah. What I have always viewed them as is a stand-in for whatever your family is. Because the entire idea, I feel like, is specifically with the kids sometimes, they'll be like, oh, yeah, our family's so weird and out there compared to everyone else. But the reality is, every family is like that to an extent.
Speak for yourself.
But I think that's what's so cool about the Addams
Yeah,
Family. Like,
my family was so normal.
yeah. They're like, they have this real, like, eccentricity to them.
Yeah.
And all of them can stand on their own as their own characters. But it also works really well as a metaphor for any family. Without having to be a one-to-one necessarily. It works in any context.
You guys
and that's
say
what really
I
like.
analyze it too much. Come on. That's fandom for you.
So, going off what you're saying,
Ka-chow.
thinking of just like the family dynamic, I'm gonna go 91.
Oh yeah, I'm going that too. I didn't
Oh,
say
sorry,
that,
sorry.
but
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
thought you were going that way.
I should have said that. I just forgot to.
It's not like you're cut off or anything.
No.
Well, Joe had to.
I didn't say you, Gibby.
It was me. And you know what? I would do it again.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I agree with you. When you first said the category, I was thinking about like the Addams like history of what their family is, because the 2019 one does it's more of an origin, so it kind of shows their family a little more, and like how they're all weird and they've always been weird and all, But if you're going off of just the tight-knit family themselves, like the 1991 one, obviously. The concept of the Addams Family is already kooky. Like, that's the whole thing. It's believable kooky, though. Like, we eat weird things or we talk weird stuff or what. Where this one was like, we have nukes and we're riding them around. It was very Looney Tunes.
It's like a parody of itself.
Like Whoville. Like, you see stuff in that atmosphere and you're like, how does that physically not topple over? Because it's Whoville. Everything in here almost looks like it's about to break or fall over or what. Like, it's weird.
It's a town.
That's why my vote goes
rocks.
to 2019. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I misspoke. To the original.
Okay.
What was the category?
What was the better movie?
Exploration of the themes. How it
exploration of the themes, so not the family dynamic. You were talking about the family dynamic.
Well, yeah, but like as
he
a way
started
to...
like using that as like an example. Yeah.
So what are the themes? What are we talking about here?
Well,
like the idea of what the
being
Addams
weird.
Family is supposed to represent, and like
Eating weird
that
food.
core idea.
and to me and TallBeing,
Not
and I
fitting
think Joe, we decided the theme is
Finding
like what a
tribe.
healthy family actually should be.
Yeah.
Regardless of what outside people think about it.
Okay, so this is why stuff like Family Guy, The Simpsons, Married with Children, like shows like that
Gundam
work.
Wing.
What?
Gundam Wing.
Gundam Wing.
Okay.
Voltron.
Voltron, though, the animated Voltron is a good example.
Same thing.
Right.
It's essentially Gundam Wing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming so because I know what it is. But this is why they work, because of the relatability to all families.
Yeah.
1991. That's my vote.
That's best for the hive. All right, yeah. Pacing, script, and dialogue.
Joe, what do you think?
Pacing in the new one, terrible. Script, not much better. Dialogue, awful. I mean, I feel like 91 in a landslide.
If there, wait, what's the line? And if with God as my witness, I am that fool. That's such a good line. That's such a good line.
That was funny.
I wish I memorized the rest of that monologue because it's a really good monologue.
You'll never ever deliver it as well as Raul Julia.
I never will, and I don't intend to live up to that because it's just not worth a hill.
All right, Bird, your vote.
Okay, so here's the thing, right?
Dude!
Listen, when you watch movies in California, it changes your perspective.
No, 1991. 1991. That's
1991.
It's not even a question.
Better say 91.
That was easy.
I better say the movie I prefer.
That's right. What people don't see is
there
that
was
we
too
pause
many
and
problems
beat you.
in the animated version.
I mean, when you have the "I am that fool" monologue, and then compare it to a movie where they say in like straight faced, "It's quiet," too quiet, and like I can't compare the two.
Yeah.
One of them had extremely generic
Yeah.
dialogue.
What is this, Ninja Turtles?
I don't even remember that. Okay, next category.
Yeah.
Knuckle bumps, man.
Okay, but the movie script is so unfunny most of the time that I just like groaned to most of the jokes.
talking about the new
and the
one?
newer one,
Yeah.
yeah. But the visual jokes are hilarious. There are quite a few that made me actually laugh. And I was like, that was funny.
You should have to catch him.
When Pugsy's licking the bowl, I thought that was funny. Like,
It's
it's a dumb joke.
Yeah, like I
This
mean,
is animated. You're talking about
His
Yeah,
name-
the animated one.
I don't know, his name is Pugsley, so I was like, there was a part of me that's like,
Two on the
oh,
nose.
he's finally doing something that matches his name. Like I was like, oh,
It's about time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the Morticia says something to him, right? What does she say? She's
Leave some for the dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
That kind of ruins the joke. If it was
Well, no,
just
it was
showing
it was
him.
the guy that was walking up. She's
Yeah,
like,
she
save
said-
some for him.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
That
saying. Like, I understand that the kids don't understand, like, know about this world,
I think that's how he eats at home, bro.
but
Yeah.
but to have
That's why they named it Pugsley.
but to have the parents not
They didn't
know
do that.
anything was weird to me. Because it's like, I'm not trying to, but it's like, I get it, they were chased out of their town by these townspeople in the beginning,
Yeah.
but like, they grew up in a town somewhere, didn't they? Like,
Yeah, but it was an old town. Like,
Morticia walks through the town.
I know,
It's modern day.
I know. It's just.
I know, but when they were chased out, like it was it seemed like they crossed this old bridge. Like it was not a modern time.
It was modern time. They ended up in New Jersey. There's a street sign, a road sign.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that they don't.
All right.
Because they walked in New Jersey.
Pugsley built a rocket in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm
about
talking
to
with the
But
kids.
he doesn't know anything about the world, but he can build a rocket. It's a dumb movie. All right.
He's got science books.
They were driving a car
Yeah.
at the beginning.
She's teaching them like all these weird school subjects.
Because they're weird.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going
Also,
2019.
when Morticia goes red and the bat comes and sucks her blood.
that was funny.
Yeah.
And another dumb joke, but I loved it so. Like the best part of the movie, Wednesday, I think, just like absently shoots another crossbow bolt, and it hits Fester in the back, and it's just a quick like blink, you miss it. He gets hit in the back, and then just looks around and puts his hand up like he's
it's
looking
raining.
for rain.
Yeah.
And that was so funny.
That scene was funny.
That's it. That's all the good
That's it.
things about the movie.
I've got one that was super funny to me for whatever reason, but it's when they first go to the town and like the kids are doing their song, right? And then Fester's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and do my song," and then he does his song where he's like, "I want to say hi with a hat, but I don't have a hat," and he's like, "Bloop bloop bloop bloop." That was so funny to me.
Yeah. Too bad there was just no other. Like it was just.
No, I didn't like his voice. I didn't like that he was like this.
Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll,
Or whatever.
yeah.
He's an acquired taste.
I didn't like that he was made to be the silly character, but I thought that part was so funny.
Dude, Christopher Lloyd's version, the fact that like
He played two characters.
like the fact that he's so psychotic as like a real person that when he starts realizing he can fit in with the kids, so he's like teaching them how to mutilate people.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's just like, I fit in
Okay,
here. Like
for an artery.
Dude, I love that part.
So that I think is part of why that movie is so good, and it's what you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Where the animated version is the jokes like you're saying, where it's like right on the nose, like, oh, obviously that was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But
surfing the
91,
web joke hurt my
like
soul.
that was a joke.
Yeah.
Him like being so crazy that he fits in
Like,
with the Addams Family.
They're being
That's a
so
joke.
They're being so nonchalant that clearly this guy has murdered people,
Right.
And he's telling these new kiddos about it because they're asking, and they're not like
Yeah.
It's, oh god,
Yeah,
That's not how you stab someone.
yeah,
and it's not like a oh ha 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 kind of joke.
Yeah.
It's like that was really funny.
Yeah, he's about
That
to
was
fit
witty.
in. Yeah, he's fitting in.
That's my kind of humor.
So-
I like.
That's a sign of good writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the category we just had. So
That was the category.
yeah,
Right,
good thing we
91
all.
sweep.
Yeah. So moving on, music and score,
Okay.
soundtrack included here.
Soundtrack included.
Yeah, because I think we can kind of do that. We talked about a little bit off air how it's kind of hard to do the score.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it for both movies is reusing that Addams Family theme.
Mhm.
But I would argue the
One did it
2019 version just kind of uses it sometimes and then doesn't use it sometimes in like some real weird ways. Or it just kind of like starts it and then
You can leave that.
doesn't continue.
Yeah.
And
I
then
did-
the 20 the what year was it?
2019.
19?
No, the earlier
1991?
one. 1991. The 91 version like uses it in different genres.
Yeah.
And it fits. Like it becomes like a romantic version, and then there's like a version when they're fighting. And one of the things that was hard for me about the new one was not only did they just kind of use it sometimes, but then the rest of the music was just pop music that like
Yeah.
and they use Lurch to provide those things.
Yeah.
But like I liked Lurch in the original one. Like he's I know he's just there most of the time.
Yeah.
But like
But
why?
He's like doing things and like making things happen. Like in the newer one, like
He's singing for some reason.
and it's, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
It was for a joke.
It was, but that's the
Not
deal,
even a
is,
good
like,
joke.
Well, then that's where we go back to when we talk about like the better writing and stuff. Like your jokes should also help the story, and that's why we were talking about the Fester stuff with the kids. Like that is a joke. It's all bundled together, and it has different facets to it.
Yeah.
and it progresses the story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because he thought he was going to have to like fake
Right.
who he was to fit in, and now he's
Yeah.
realizing, oh, to fit in, I kind of need to be myself.
Yeah.
Like,
In the new one, it's like we don't know what to do with Lurch, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't want him to serve in the same capacity that he did in the 1991 version.
Yeah.
But he's the butler. Like he had that one scene at the beginning where he gets hit, and then like I also like the scene where he's leaving his room and it's just like mattresses all over.
yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like all the things he does are musically inclined. He even like
Yeah.
tries to protect the piano or the organ when one of the
Oh, I thought
boys
he was
comes
straight
in.
up protecting the family.
Yeah.
No,
The
he's
piano
like
was
family-
behind him.
No, he
Yeah,
is
the
just the
family wasn't
piano.
behind him.
Yeah, they're
I may
they're
have
all not
not
even in the
That-
room
that's a joke you missed.
because
Okay.
It was
yeah,
too,
'cause they
too
come
much
in
for
from
you.
the hallway and Pugsley blows it up, and then they're there. But like, all he does is
Oh, okay. I'm getting two scenes mixed. Yeah.
all he
I know
does
what
is
you're talking
infuse this music, and the music, like I know that we're trying to make it more modern, and kids love doing whatever this dance is right here.
about. Floss.
Right? Yeah, and so we're trying to make that possible, and I think that's why the Snoop Dogg is in there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, we got this great music in here, and look, Snoop Dogg's here too. Like,
What was the Cousin
That's
It song he drove up to? in
Drop it like it's
91?
hot.
No.
Oh, in
In
91?
1991, because they did the same thing,
Yeah.
which I liked that.
was it too legit? Because they mentioned that, they said that.
Yes,
first time, right?
okay, that's what it was.
It was too legit?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Because he pulls up. Because
Too
I watched.
legit. Too
so-
legit to quit. That one?
So I watched the 2019 one first. So going back and watching the 1991 one, and like, because when the whole Cousin It scene happens in the new one, it is you kind of like, oh yeah, well they've been putting new songs through the whole thing. Okay,
You're not old enough to remember this, but MC Hammer like came out with the Addams Family rap. So
really?
so that's why his stuff is in there.
That's cool.
Do you remember that?
No.
You're old. You don't remember this?
No.
You're older than
That's-
I am.
But to echo what you were saying, since I watched the new one first, I assumed, oh, once again they're just trying to put in new stuff. So to go to the 1991 one, and he pulls up and it's also rap, I was like, oh, so that's always been a thing. I was like, well, that's good to know that Cousin It is just dope. Like
He's forward
period,
thinking,
yeah.
man.
Like any movie, it's like you got to keep doing the. Cool
He's got some
car
good
and-
conditioner. You see
Yeah.
how clean.
I don't
his hair
know.
is?
I don't know that it's always been a thing because he wasn't like that in the.
They didn't have rap in the 70s.
Don't think it was there.
Alright.
I don't
They
think
didn't have
it-
rap in the 60s. All right.
So we just all agreed on 91,
Yeah.
though, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the category was. yet.
Music and score.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah. 90.
So here's the thing.
I mean, even the actual score by Mark Shaman.
we all
I
get
think it was
nervous
good.
when you lean
Yeah.
to the mic. We're all like, "Are we in trouble?"
I think that he added to the kookiness or the campiness of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It had a very Elfman-esque feel
little
to
bit.
it,
Too
but still
legit
kind of
to
its
quit.
own thing.
okay,
So, yeah,
Excellent.
good.
I'm not falling. for it,
Final.
man.
Don't fall for
I'm
it.
done laughing.
Okay,
We're
Yeah, that's
serious now. We're
This-
not
this is the-
creepy and we're not kooky.
we're not
No,
kooky.
This is the final rounds. Let's do
Okay,
this thing.
Let's do it.
Got to do what's best for the hive.
Let's do it, please.
All right, final category: directing and cinematography.
All
Which
right.
one? It's 91. Come on, it's 91.
Yeah, I don't like.
Here's the thing.
Oh, ultimately, it's 91.
Yeah, because it's like you can just animate.
I feel like he's
the-
got more to say. He said ultimately, which means
Yeah.
he wants to make a
He
case for
doesn't
the
want to
new
hurt
one.
feelings. Okay,
Like
let's
he
hear
wants
it.
to make a case for the new
Because
one.
I
Okay.
want to say.
Let him cook.
All right. Was not ready for that one.
Let him
Who's
go.
got that on the bingo card?
Hold up.
What were you gonna say?
I'll say after. 'cause-
All right. Like, so it's not much. I don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, mine's
But part of the reason that I liked it because I wasn't expecting the actual like coloring and directing of it to be as entertaining as it was.
Mhm.
Like the intro scene of where it's like cruising in and goes up to the house, and there was certain views during the movie that were interesting. It wasn't just like straight shots. It'd be kind of angled where it's got like the tree in the front and then it's got the house in the background or something like that, where it gives it a little bit more depth, which I thought was done well, visually.
Mhm.
So like that's some of the stuff that was part of the movie that I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like I said, the 91 version with where they're lighting up Angelica Houston's eyes, everything else is darker, but like her eyes are lit up was great. The overall look of the house, it all works.
Right.
It was the same good style of blocking that like they did in the original Beetlejuice movie. As far as like, you know the music that's going on, you know what's about to happen, so you preemptively have this blocking to where it's like you're bringing the characters like in on stuff. Like from Beetlejuice, there's like these perspectives where they're like filming up from like the fake town display.
Yeah,
you know when they're doing, and so like there was parts on Addams Family that was like that. It was like
it gives it a weird
you're
look.
you're doing like the polar bear rug perspective from the floor, him, the guy coming in, but then it quickly goes into like it. I liked it. I liked the flow of it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was good directing.
Yeah.
Joseph?
Yeah, 91. I don't even know. I don't even know why we're questioning this. This should not.
I was just complimenting it. It deserved a little like it was good.
Yeah,
you know?
And I was just giving a little bit of prop to the 2019.
Yeah,
that's all right.
I thought it deserves it.
He's done cooking.
He's done cooking, man.
He done cooked.
It was just some popcorn.
That's what you do after you cook. You serve it. Right? Is that what the kids say? You serve it after the cook?
I think that was like 20 years ago. You got served.
I'm bringing it back. Bird served.
Single-handedly.
Bird served, yeah.
All right, so I want to come back. I think it's kind of bring me full circle.
Okay.
There you go.
I want to compare two scenes that are very similar from these two movies. In 2019, we have Pugsley at his ceremony thing when he is trying and failing to get the sword. And it's with all his family members, right? All the extended family. And it's in like this black void that just appears out of nowhere. Versus in 91, when Gomez and Fester do their dance together. And I think that is the perfect example of, I liked seeing that original dance between Fester and Gomez was really cool. Because it's just a really cool choreographed scene. Like it's
like they didn't practice.
It's entertaining to watch. It has an energy to it. There's just fun.
Hayden, you think they
especially
just freestyled that? You think they didn't practice it?
No, he's talking about the characters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You know it's a movie, right?
At times I don't know because we break it down as if this is a college course. So I don't know anymore.
He never went to college, Bird.
And that scene is the one that kind of got me excited for the animated one, because I was like, I like the idea in concept of an animated Addams Family movie, because you can do some real cool stuff like that. Like that scene, but animated, could have been so cool. But instead we get the Pugsley one, which is in a black void for some reason, and just lacks the energy that the live action version had in spades.
Well, one of the things that strengthens the live action version is that the people involved are the two characters that we've been building a relationship with.
Yeah.
Right? The Pugsley one, like, Dad steps out of the side and then, like, random family members appear.
Yeah.
You have no idea who they are.
It's intimidating. It's not fun. It's
you're like
nervous for this kid.
Yeah, and you're like, well, why, what is happening? Like, why are they there?
Why is this random person that I've never seen your design before?
Yeah, and that wasn't in the drawings that he was given.
Because again, he's just now learning about the family. So it's like, this is all new to him. And so it's
2 words here. Visual storytelling. Right?
That's Black Void.
You said it, buddy.
Okay, look, it wasn't a great part, but I think what they were going for is showing that intimidation and like fear. That's why it goes all black. So you're seeing that from Pugsley's perspective.
And I'm not saying it's like they're not doing something with that, but I feel like it could have been, like, everything about it screamed potential. And everything about that movie, I think that's why I don't like it so much, is like just the concept of it alone had potential, and it just let me down in every single way.
That's why I mentioned the people involved. right? Because if you want a scene like that to be significant, then you got to focus on the strengths of your movie.
Yeah.
The strengths of the 1991 version
It's
is the characters and their relationship to each other, right? Like, let's take it back to Batman for a second. Like, what makes Batman's interaction with the Riddler in the new one so interesting? It's like the fact that they got these shared experiences, right? And Batman thinks that Riddler knows his secret, right? And so it makes that scene where he's talking to him through the glass, like it becomes more of a mirror than a glass, right? And so because it's so much more intimate, it's so much more compelling. And so with Gomez and Fester doing the dance together, it's an intimate thing that they knew as brothers, and clearly they're able to do it again. And we've already established that, hey, this Fester might not actually be his brother and doesn't know all the things, and yet he successfully pulls off this dance. So they tell us a whole lot just by doing that. All these other people that are involved, yes, they may be framed from below and it may be black so that they're a little monstrous, but Pugsley knows that his family is different and monstrous. Like, he doesn't need to learn that lesson. Like, he's trying to perform this thing because it's a rite of passage, and he is failing at it. And I think that's more what the darkness is trying to represent than the monstrosity of the family. Like, he's failing at it, and he's isolated, right? His dad's not there with him anymore. And if his dad had been more involved, like, or been the one that's like knocking it out of his hand and kicking it away from him, I think it would have been more compelling, because you're like, hey, the one that's standing in his way of becoming the man you want him to be is you. Better storytelling. Better antagonism.
I agree with TallBeing.
But not Joe? You don't agree with Joe on this one?
He never agrees with me.
I agree with Joe.
Hey, listen, I'm just over here teaching a college course.
No,
Well,
I mean, you guys are saying a similar thing. So it's like, obviously, I agree with you.
Well, that's all our categories.
It's also because I'm pretty.
I stopped giving them to 91 after a second because I lost count, and because 2019 has a total of 2 points. So
you're welcome, 2019. No,
that's the 2 marks. The Margos.
It's 2 undeserved points.
All right, well, 1991 wins this battle.
I'm so surprised.
It's Halloween special.
It was special.
Listen, I was there, okay? I remember MC Hammer.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, shall we close this out?
Let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm tired.
I'm
tired after this one.
I commend you guys.
It is 2 a.m. for us.
It's not. That's a
spent
lot.
way too much time on the Addams Family movies. But that was fun. All right, so join us on our socials, The Room Upstairs Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and of course YouTube. Subscribe on there and let us know which ones you prefer. If we're right, was Margot the better antagonist? Let us know.
If it was, keep it to yourself. Don't.
At least don't let him
don't
know.
Say.
I will find you.
Okay, we'll do an Hour Ranters next episode. And we'll throw in Monster Squad in there. So
as we eat Halloween.
It'll be our post-Halloween episode. You guys have a good Halloween. Have fun. Be safe.
Go watch Monster Squad. That's what we're gonna say about it.
Please watch Monster Squad. It's great.
Free with ads.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
That's fandom for you.
Boo.
This is all going in. It's all staying.
Oh, no, it's not.
One take.
One take.
One take.
You know why? Because there's something in the way.